Are you a fan of the Dragon Ball Super card game? If so, check out QueenCityGaming.com for sealed product, singles, and more. Just use promo code MafubaJar-10 to save 10% off your order every time.
Welcome back to Mafuba Jar, where you've been sealed away for another awesome deck profile. And today, we're going to go ahead and take a look at a leader we have not seen in quite some time, and that is the Set 3 Mira leader. And yes, as I said, this is the Set 3, not the Set 4 Mira leader, which I love both leaders, but I decided let's go ahead and whip up something with the Set 3 leader today. So, he's a bit of an older one, has some pretty interesting things about him. His auto is when this card attacks, not even attacks your opponent's leader, but just attacks, you place 2 cards from the top of your deck in the drop area, and if there's a green or yellow in your drop or battle area, you draw a card. So really, really cool there, being able to draw and mill. And his Awaken's also interesting too. When your life's set 4 or less, you choose up to 1 card from your warp, add it to your hand, and flip them over. I really wish we had more cards with this type of awakening, because I think it's very interesting. But this and the Zeno Trunks leader are the only 2 with that type of awakening. And we have not gotten anything else with it since. It's honestly kind of disappointing to me. But, oh well, no use complaining about it. So let's go ahead and take a look at his awakened side. Dark Warrior Mira. His permanent is if your warp has at least 5 cards in it, this card gains critical. And that's kind of the point of our deck, just constant critical hits whenever we can. His activate means you get to mill up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, so it's always to help you have your drop area loaded for overwhelm. And his auto, of course, when he attacks, draw a card. And oh yeah, one more important thing to know about him is that he is an Android leader, so that does open up a lot of possibilities with him. You used to be able to run a Cell Chain engine with this, but ever since Cell got limited to 1, that's become much harder. Not impossible, but much harder to do. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the actual deck. And no, I am not running the Cell Chain version, just so you guys know. But there is plenty of Android type support in this deck. So first off here, we're going to go ahead and show off our super combo. It's going to be Supreme Karatime World's Protector. Now this was the first super combo we got for our black leaders out there. But interesting enough to know, your leader actually does not have to be a black card to use this. This is like the universal super combo card. When you combo with this card, if there are 5 or more cards in your warp, you draw a card and it gains 10,000. So that's really all there is to it. Like, your leader color technically doesn't matter at that point. So yeah, that's really, really interesting that this is not a color specific super combo. Speaking of combo cards here, we are going to be running 2 copies of Furthering Destruction Champa, because since a lot of our cards here are critical, adding Double Strike on top of that would just be devastating to our opponent. I don't run more in this because usually whenever I did, I would mill a lot of them, and I would usually mill like 2 or 3 of them. And so I would only be able to use about 2 of them per game anyways, because I just kept milling them all. So that's my reasoning behind 2. If you want to bump it up, by all means do so, but just explain my personal reason for it. Alright, so here's the first of our Android support cards, Create Android. Now, it's a 1-drop, green, and if your leader card's an Android, draw 2 cards and place a card from your hand into the drop area. So this helps you not only fill up your drop area for Overwhelm, but just a really good draw card in general. So, really, really awesome there. And first card we're going to be showing with critical, it's going to be 2 copies of Newfound Power Son Gohan. I only run 2 of this because of the new green card we got from this recent set, Clash of Fates. Not to mention with both Crisis Crusher and that 2-drop Blue Goku feature rare, running 1-drops to Awaken's a little riskier now, so I only run 2 of this guy. But I do have other ways to Awaken, so no need to worry about that. And of course, going to be running 3 copies of Time Control Cronoa. Whenever there's like a black or Overwhelm deck, there's never no reason to not run Cronoa. Honestly, a lot of people aren't running her now, and Shugesh is making a comeback. So definitely want the Cronoa in your deck. Just be able to stop all that stuff, because that would actually really, really hurt you. And speaking of what I just said, here's some new cards from Clash of Fates. Going to be running 3 copies of Tactical Victory Vegeta. He's a 2-drop, and the other is when you play this card, choose up to 1 field card in your opponent's battle area and place it in the owner's drop area. So it's kind of almost a universal way to get rid of your opponent's field cards, because those are definitely in the game right now between Frieza's Spaceship, Planet Vegeta, Planet M2 here and there. But no, yeah, there are definitely many decks out there with field cards. And just being able to destroy one of them, yeah, that could really, really hurt them. Because normally they feel safe and just putting the rest in their energy. So yeah, popping out one could be a huge, huge deal. And continuing on with cards from Clash of Fates. We've got 4 copies of Hyperspeed Son Goku. Now he's a 3-drop, which is a little annoying, but what's cool about the auto is when you play this card, you may choose up to 2 cards from your life, add them to your hand, and if you chose to add at least 1 card to your hand from your life, he gains 15 power and critical for the duration of the turn. So when you play him, he automatically becomes a 30k critical, which is completely insane to me. So helps you awaken much faster, and it's another huge critical attacker. So definitely a huge benefit there. Gonna go on, continue with 3 drops. Gonna have 3 copies of Deadly Defender's Son Goku. Now, as for any of the Deadly Defenders, once he's in rest mode, he loses 5k power during your opponent's turn, but your opponent cannot attack your leader. And he's got barriers, so that's really, really nice as well. It's very nice to protect him once you already awaken. And I'm going to be running 2 copies of the new BCC promo, Surprise Attack Frieza. Now, 4-drop, but don't really pay attention to that. He's got critical, 15k, not bad. But the main part with him is that you activate this skill when your opponent's battle card is knocked out. If this card is already not in play, you get to go ahead and automatically just play it from your hand. So when you knock out one of their battle cards and this is in your hand, pop. You just put them down right away. That's just another free critical attacker to just swing into your opponent. So definitely just devastating. And of course we did say this is an Overwhelm deck, so we're going to be running Overwhelm cards. First one's going to be Mira from the Darkness, Overwhelm of 4, and when you play him using Overwhelm, he gains critical for the duration of the turn. So it's a critical attacker that you don't have to really pay any energy for, so that's really, really cool. And next up here we have 2 copies of Mira Creator Absorb. Overwhelm of 4, you pay 1 energy, and when he attacks, this card gains 5,000 power for each card on your warp. So basically, if your opponent does not negate this, it's an automatic either life or an automatic knockout. He's like probably the best way to deal with those really pesky Deadly Defenders, as I just showed you with the Goku. But yeah, he's great for that. Not to mention, if they are not able to they're not able to negate this attack, Paramount with Champa and it's an automatic double strike. It's gonna go through. Because I've gotten to nearly 200k with him without even comboing. So he's just insane. And to keep going with our Mirror cards here, we've got 3 copies of Force Destruction Mirror from the Ultimate Box. He's a Zeno Evolve of 5 on top of a Mira. He has Triple Strike, and the auto is when this card evolves to this card, if your leader card is Toa or an android, say that's telling us we're going to get a Toa leader in the future, and you have 10 or more black cards in your warp, which we will have by then, your opponent chooses 3 cards in their hand and sends them to their warp. So really, really awesome with that. I'm really curious to see about what's going to happen with this supposed Toa leader in the future. Because we already have cards saying if your leader is Toa, so we're going to get that eventually. And just so you guys who don't know how Zeno Evolve works, because it has been a while since I've profiled anyone with Zeno Evolve, basically how Zeno Evolve works is that you have the Mira, right? You could go ahead and attack with the Mira, you pay the 5 energy, it goes to the warp, and you get to play this card. Oh, not technically on top of it, but it counts as evolving, and it gets played in active mode. So that's what's really cool about Zeno Evolve. You can go ahead and attack with the previous card, and this will still come out in active mode. So really, really cool there. Of course, to me, this would be your most ideal card to Zeno Evolve on top. But if you have the energy, you can also Zeno Evolve on top of this Mira as well. And to keep going with Overwhelm stuff, of course, we have our 2 copies of Scientist Fu. Overwhelm 7, you gotta pay 1 energy, double strike, and when you play using Overwhelm, you get to draw 2 cards. So it's really more for the draw than anything we have, but having a 25k double striker that easily and cheap is just too good to pass up. Alrighty, and for other green cards here, we've got 2 copies of Anilaza and 2 copies of Piccolo here. Now, all 4 of these have barrier, so that's really cool right there, and double strike. so they have quite a bit in common. But the Anilaza's special trick is that when your opponent combos, they choose one card in their hand and place it in their drop area. And if you have two Anilazas out, whenever they combo, they have to pitch 2 cards. So that's really, really just disgusting right there. You don't ever really attack with the Anilaza too much. You just keep them there to just force your opponent to have to pitch whenever they decide to combo. And the Piccolo here, you don't really double attack with him much either. You mainly keep him out for the automatic popping for what is Bond 2. And that means you just have to have 2 or more battle cards in play, and you get to choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and knock it out, which works perfectly with the surprise attack surprise attack Frieza. And I got something with the Piccolo, and just automatically bring this out for free, and boom, critical attacker right there. But of course, them being 20k double strikers isn't bad either to use if you need to push for games. And I am also going to be running, I'll put this right here, I'm going to be running 2 copies of Temporal Darkness Demigra. He is a Dark Overwhelm 7, and you have to pay 4 energy. And what Dark Overwhelm means is that you have to have at least 7 black cards in your drop area to send to Warp. And unlike Overwhelm, Dark Overwhelms, they stay out. Like, they don't go to the Warp at the end of your turn. And his auto is when you play his card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to their Warp. Then choose up to 1 battle card from your Warp with an energy cost of 4 or less and play it. So your ideal ones are going to be either Anilaza or Piccolo to bring out with Temporal Darkness, because you'll get to get rid of one of theirs while still getting a double strike barrier out that either makes your opponent lose cards when they combo or automatically knocks out an opponent's battle card every turn. So just really just brutal right there. And no Overwhelm style deck is complete without our copy of Beyond Darkness Demigra. Okay, there we go. Just want to find a perfect place to put him. So yes, this is the most powerful Dark Overwhelm card we have in the game. It's Dark Overwhelm is 7, you tap 5 energy, and he has Triple Strike, so that's already very bad for your opponents. And his auto is when this card attacks, your opponent reveals their hand, choose up to 4 battle cards from it, and combo with them in your combo area. So you just, even if this attack is negated, you're still getting rid of 4 cards from your opponent's hand, which then by itself could be absolutely brutal, especially if you have other things to overwhelm into and just attack with in general. Yeah, it's just really, really bad for them. And now to our extra cards. I only run a couple of them. So first off here, I have 2 copies of Dark Kamehameha. I love this card, by the way. Activate battle. If your leader card is Mira, it gains 15,000 power for the duration of battle. And if it's during your turn you activate this, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less and send it to their Warp. So it's a really good way to deal with blockers or Borgos out there, because Lord knows that's definitely a thing. So yeah, definitely really good. Or Crisis Crushers. So yeah, any of those annoying 4-drops or less, especially those annoying 1-drops, boom. You've got the Dark Kamehameha right there. Oh, and I have 1 Black Mass Sand 1-drop. That's really stupid too. There you go. Dark Kamehameha it away. And the last card here I'm going to be showing you guys is 3 copies of Speedy Surprise Attack. It's a 1-drop negate, and if your leader is an android, which Mira is, you pitch a card from your hand, and you destroy one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less. So it's just more additional pop right there. And it's another way to bring out the Frieza as well, because this doesn't specify on whose turn you have to knock out one of your opponent's battle cards. So just really, really brutal right there. And that about does it for this Mira deck profile. There's actually lots of ways you could build Mira. You can actually just go a complete yellow route as well, because his auto also works with yellow, and we have plenty of very powerful yellow cards to work with. So if that's the engine you want to go, that's fine. If you want to go the new improvised cell engine with him, that's also fine. I'll tell you, there's a lot of ways you can mess with both Miras, and I really like it a lot. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel for more Dragon Ball Super content. Not going to be stopping. Going to keep on going with awesome stuff. We got the Broly set not too far away. Yes, I know it's called Destroyer Kings, but let's face it, it's practically the Broly set. Come on. Alright guys, so definitely looking forward to that. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. You have been released.